Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Now, I want to ask the simplest of questions, and I want to bring it to your attention, and I want you to answer it, because sometimes it's important for us to ask questions involving, dare I say, something a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit philosophical in nature. All right, just a couple of things, a couple of philosophical questions. And the question I have is very simply this. How do you actually know what you know? And I've said this before, and it sounds simple, but it's one of the biggest questions today. And most people think they understand what's happening, in the world because they scroll through news or they watch clips or they see headlines. But seeing information is not the same as understanding it. And a lot of people believe what they believe is chosen for them by algorithms and social media and big news companies. So right now, news is often, as you know, about speed and emotions, but not truth. Stories are rushed out so fast, so people will click and get angry and argue. And when the same story is repeated over and over, it starts to feel true, even if no one really checked it. People get comfortable with what they hear a lot, and that comfort turns into belief. And there's also pressure to fit into teams. And this is what I want you to understand. You're supposed to think like your group. Conservative, liberal, popular opinions, libertarian, trending opinions, whatever it is. Many reporters and influencers are, in effect, scared to say really something different because they don't want to lose their followers, their money, or their job. So what they do is they repeat the same talking points of the station, of the network, of the show. It's like radio stations playing the same hit song again and again, even when everyone is tired of hearing it. Let me give you an example. This is a great story. One year, there was a song that was number one, and it was called "You Light Up My Life." Okay, "You Light Up My Life," and it was Debbie Boone in 1977. It was number one in 1977. Look at Blaze. Look at him go. Look at him go. Other board ops would be sitting there picking their nose and saying, "Am I off yet?" Not you. No. It was an Arista song. "You Light Up My Life." Debbie Boone, daughter of course Pat Boone, number one on the Billboard Billboard Hot 100, number one for 10 consecutive weeks. It beat out everybody. And every DJ had to play it. And they hated it. And everybody I knew hated it. I had just graduated from high school. People would think about ways to harm themselves.
This was a monster. I was in third grade, and I remember this song.
It was 10 weeks. It beat everything. And she never did anything. Here we go. Everybody. It's like a modified waltz, but not really. It's a four-bar. And everybody in the biz had to play this song. And why do I bring that up? I bring it up because if you're in the news biz, you've got to say what everybody else is saying, especially in your group, in your tribe, in your neighborhood, your clan. And another problem is that having lots of information doesn't mean you're smarter. It just means you're faster at reacting. And people will see short clips and jump to conclusions, and they don't slow down to read full stories. They don't check sources. They don't ask questions. That makes it easy to control what people think. So how do you really understand what's happening? How do you do it? Well, first of all, you slow down, which nobody wants to do. You don't trust just one source. You read more than just the headlines. You look at original videos and documents and, interviews, and you ask who benefits from the story, cui bono, cui prodest, who benefits from this? What is not being shown? What facts are real? What are opinions? And you also need to understand that news is influenced by money and power. Big companies, politicians, advertisers all affect what gets covered. That doesn't mean that the news is fake. It just means that you should always be careful and curious. And most important, it's okay to ask, I don't know yet. I don't know. Real learning starts when you ask questions instead of pretending that you already know the answers. And what people do is they don't really know this. Now, I'm going to talk about two things, two words, two great concepts. Ontology and epistemology. That's right, my friends. Ontology is about what exists. It's about what's real, what counts as a thing, what is a fact versus a story. If something is something physical, mental, social, symbolic, for example, a table exists physically, money exists socially, fear exists mentally, nations exist politically. Ontology is like the map of reality. And epistemology, this is the best. This is how you know things. How do you know that everything is true, that something is true? What counts as evidence? Who is a trusted source? What's the difference between data, information, knowledge, and wisdom? Think about that. The hierarchy. Data means raw facts and signals. You got numbers, you got images, you got recordings. It's just metadata. It doesn't mean anything yet. Then there's information. Okay, so data's been organized into headlines and charts and reports. It still tells you, it tells you something happened roughly in this particular category. Knowledge is when you understand the patterns and the context, you know why something happened and how it connects the dots. And then there's wisdom. And you use knowledge correctly. And there's these states of knowledge and what you know and how do you know. And what, for the most part, we have in most entertainment systems has nothing to do with anything involving teaching or learning. It's about reacting. I want your reaction. I don't want you to learn anything. I mean, I do, but I'm being generic. I want you to react. I want you to see what's happening, and I want you to join others, and I want you to hear your fellow tribesmen, your fellow friends, your fellow, your fellow compatriots and neighbors who all think the same thing. And there's no room for any kind of veering from the reality of this. Like I was telling somebody, I said, there are some things about Ilhan Omar I kind of like, not her politics, but I like her toughness. I like them, and they looked at me and like, you are absolutely nuts.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.